А чё загрузка такая долгая? Я же от альтаба, надеюсь, не поломал игру.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride! Well, that's a very blunt question.
But France is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes, the people never happy. It's never enough.
I cannot believe you.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Давайте на интерне поиграем.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Как же оно орёт.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the...
Я думаю, я даже могу вам включить, чтобы вы понимали. Или уже не могу.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit.
Редкости, когда я буду включать язык, потому что игра интересная, но вы много чего не успеете прочитать.
Hi, David, I have a call for you, I'm just putting it through. Alright mate, Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. Right, the tapes are loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now, you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
Спасибо, помог.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our... viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next thing is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now, lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh.
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse it with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. That's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wicked, we've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
We've got it, you want it, you want it, we've got it, you want it.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
Enjoy the
name.
day by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer.
Сложно.
Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding. Doesn't it? Giving. Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'd just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Cool, looks like Blunderclash is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
No, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time, push upwards.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, don't.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes.
Bloody perfect, mate.
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Ребята очень сильно постарались очень много вещей сделать.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to...
Тогда мне нужно погромче поставить эти штуки, чтобы слышать.
Hearing 2 things at once, just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
My message directly to you. With my new nationwide tour, Alan James is right.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Seriously, had worse.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast.
Oh,
shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming, and well, thank you all
Where
for
do I
coming.
start?
And, well, what a day!
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They knew every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shit.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny. Coarser than a granny's.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty check pants on and
Again,
opening their
colourfully put, again, not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. I've got nowhere to hide. We revoke your passports. We revoke your passport. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election. But first, you're going to pay first. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret. That's absolute. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private cars. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you. Advance have this to say to you. We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it. In the hands of the people who created it.
Today.
Yes. It ends today. And tomorrow we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Well, interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Donaldson.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
With this exquisite limited edition collection,
weird fever
My
dream.
Salad
I'm
Week.
dying now or something.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Ох.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page.
Ну вот в целом вот такая вот игра. Сидеть, дергать трансляции и вот это вот все. Со временем добавляется куча механик, и в этом вся суть.
Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's
Это да,
start with
Данька.
broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
But before that, let's take a look at what's coming.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go, and when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Привет, Данька. Но в целом звук регулировать можно себе, вывод. Но игра, типа, прям то, что я про нее видел, она становится невыносимо сложной под конец. Светлое будущее. Говорите. Сейчас бы свой паспорт отдавать. Возьмет на него микрозаймов. The Aftermath.
Let's get set up and get on with it, eh? So I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Now you're in auto headline mode, so if you don't bother to pick a photo before that clock runs out, the machine's just going to pick one at random for you. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time off, I'll be back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Snuggle hugs?
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody!
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4,
But before all that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Nightly
Good evening,
News.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photos, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Griever's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an advanced all that and mega more for the group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
30 seconds back.
Speaking of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves. We're just in
dismissal
prettier
there.
cages.
Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't.
Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't. Realise that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is unlimited, so they're changing things up.
There I agree
so they're
with you.
changing things
They're
up.
moving to the next steps in the grand plan. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Alan.
It's all in my book.
Grand plan,
Alan
Alan.
James is right. It's all in my book. Jeremy. Alan James is right. We're to become the great Jeremy. Ignorant, we're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile,
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet. We will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Yes, only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is
shamelessly self-promoting.
James is
shamelessly self-promoting. How do you think the rest of the world will respond? How do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last great world powers have faced since the last great war.
War is inevitable.
Thank you,
Katie's right. This will not be a war like we've ever seen before. And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking high-tech millions of deaths. That can level entire cities. We're talking that can level entire cities. We're talking like Jeremy, but when they murder your appearance and they poison your food and they take you away to their camp for hypno-brainwashing, and they take you away to their camp for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy. Yes,
democracy is dead.
Radical and change is always frightening, but the truth is change is always frightening, but the truth is more than 90% of the population has made more than 90% of the population to produce a permanent and is on target to produce a permanent end to
poverty. What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain. To keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. Like we've never seen the
You say mobilise, I call it. You say mobilise, the grooming of an entire generation. The grooming of an entire generation to bondage, happily into eternal bondage.
They're like psychic paedophiles. Katie, what are your based on the facts? Katie, what are your
Act is only the first The Assets and Wealth Act is only now have a historic budgetary surplus. Advance now have a historic funding our public services, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts, into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan? Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals juice, pumping it full of belief juice.
Changes get me wrong. I want to see these changes lose their power after spending half of our GDP after spending half of our GDP on that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
Quickly, Alan. All right, we're running out of time. What does the future look like to you, Alan?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. We've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. We might be on the eve of a brave new world. But we need to be cautious. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forward with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, when we come back, thank you for joining me. I'll be investigating law and order. Before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight. On the National coming up tonight. On the
1 minute back.
You know, might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, let's talk shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
True community can provide.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Informed of all the
Absolutely fucking fine, I tell you. How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye.
Oh shit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
Понимаю.
That's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines. To make the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up.
6-минутный сегмент.
Close up Can you hear me, Gregory? Can you hear me,
Yes,
Gregory?
I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me. Yes, I've got
What's
you,
it like
Jeremy.
on the front
Thanks for
line of
having
the
me.
hard face with the cold hand of justice? Line of the hard face with the cold hand of
As you
justice.
can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country.
Massively understaffed.
We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseload on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer. Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Demand, Jeremy. There simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level, Jeremy. At a structural level. Time, darling.
It never is it?
Time, darling.
I'll be at my mother's. It never is it?
Just hang on. Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public.
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving? Can I have a moment to
Yes,
tell my
I
husband I'm leaving?
totally understand. Yes. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Quite the picture of a Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Gregory Judge. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob? Do you think there's a problem?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, immigrants much diddy.
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was saying the Badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, is it back to Jeremy Donaldson? Clive,
It's Wednesday. I'm going back in your gimme space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people.
Darling, where's the padlock?
Hold on just a moment.
А ты играл в эту игру, Дакур?
I am not having this again. Clive, I am not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of the pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there. We're locking down the police's position on morality force. And
Да он только начал.
hopefully uninterrupted.
Вторая трансляция.
It's time to get Tony Dawson, the matter, has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a swamp. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony. Many happy returns, Tony.
Call me Titwank, Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony? Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, Titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to...
Я не знаю, какую я рекламу засовывал. Я ее в основном не смотрю.
Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, Big Chris, and Vampire Chris. Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yeah. One sec, love. Tony's on the news. One sec, love. Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Rehabilitation's difficult. Just got to sit up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollock's only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time. It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing a signal here, Tony. Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we get that signal. Yes. Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there, Ricky. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back. Don't go away after these messages. We'll be back.
1 minute back, everybody.
This is crazy Neil's
mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip: when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I'm going to throw up in a bit.
Christmas elephant, we've got all the seasonal animals. Crazy Neil's crazy deal. This is a clear out of the storage locker that second Mrs. Neil abandoned, like she abandoned her children. It's a rainbow of crazy fun. Don't be a prick and get yourself quick. Grab yourself a crazy deal with Neil Appeal.
Welcome to Black. I'm Megan Wolf. And on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people who today received a grant from Advance to take their
Ну, так я не понял, что он хотел от меня с музыкой.
Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley Hamilton.
We are Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest. We are Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
Is that right? And I believe you two sisters, is that right?
I'm the older, more popular one. I'm the older, more popular one.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea. Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget. I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were. So I knew the ropes, as it were.
Yes, but you're the maths teacher,
algebra. Yes,
maths
teacher. Jeff, algebra.
Maths
thanks, Steve. Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. History. Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problems, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. And they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an
Плане
excerpt
докур.
from this play, aren't you?
That's right.
From this play.
Put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
А, ну ладно.
Doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us. She's like
it's like a metaphor. It's like maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Put it in, coach. Yes, thanks, Steve. Put it in, coach.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. Run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago, a letter from advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin.
How did you react?
But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this whole democracy thing. Let's have a go at this whole democracy thing. And here we ballywell are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So let's have a look at a short section of Hey, friendship.
Dear Diary. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh, heavens
Hi,
no!
Gary.
It's Gary the Fist! Oh, heavens no!
Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year. Going somewhere, little first year.
I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. It's so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going for fuck's sake.
Right.
Keep going for
Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. Now,
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep
Who are
going.
you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. And Blake owns a motorbike.
But I can't fight all three of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be cheeky if you work as a team.
It's my choice to remain. So stop now, make a different choice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of my cool rap. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Как я люблю кринжовые кадры.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now.
Make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Night. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but don't make it so.
I have a similar belief about adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
There must be something in the food! I don't want to upset you, but you should weep for the world. They're gonna take your poor
Прекрасная игра.
to shock you, but you need to wake up! I'm Alan James, and I'll slap you so hard with the truth, you'll still be picking facts out of your face the following Wednesday.
Alan James, coming to a city near you. Check.
Да, на втором блоке я проебывался. Ужасный монтаж. Согласен. РС НД. Запомните, пожалуйста.